us there in the post-game interview. Next up, once again, I keep reminding you, but it's going to be the brand new team. I'm super excited for this. That's why I keep mentioning it. 12 Ducks versus Cookie Cutters. So that's going to be our round number 2. And I think we're going to start having some games showing up on that YouTube stream very shortly. So look out for that. Let's see. Their round number 1, I believe, happened already, if I'm not mistaken, which was Trash versus Love Bites. So I think that one has come and gone. We did get a recording of it, if I am not mistaken again. But their round number 2 is going to be Love Bites versus Voltaic Gaming. And round number 3 over there on YouTube is going to be 2OP versus Fun, like we just talked with Matt about. So definitely check those games out as well if those were the ones that you like to follow. I know I like watching. I like the story of 2OP. That's going to be real interesting. Them moving forward is going to be rather interesting to follow. I like Voltaic versus Love Bites as well, so definitely give them a look.
Yeah, but looks like we're just getting ready, getting the spectator slot set up, and we're going to be doing, once again, the picks and bans in chat. So hopefully that goes as smoothly as last time. This is a new team. It's really interesting to see how these new teams handle picks and bans. They might not be as experienced with the whole mind game setup of it, but if they've been paying attention to the prep phase league, they might already know what to do going in.
Yeah, and I was talking with them a little bit earlier, the 12 Ducks guys, and basically they said they watched season 1's tournament finals, and they got kind of excited about going into season 2 if it was going to happen, and because they didn't know if we were going to have a season. Of course we were. And I asked them, what took you so long then to join us here too in the prep phase league? And the first answer I got was rather humorous. He said, well, we didn't want to destroy Team Trash's dreams right away. But then the serious answer came out, and they said they were just playing for fun until they actually found another guy that they liked to play with. And then they had 4, and they could sign up for the PPL finally.
Well, I'm excited to see. I mean, if they think they can take on Trash, I want to see them fight Trash. That won't be this week, but I'm sure they'll get their shot at those champions. Looks like going into map pick is going to be 12 Ducks with the first pick, and they're going to go Flyway. So that traditional map, the longest running map, this is the one that allows for a lot of potential maneuvering and also a lot of potential running away and hiding. And Cookie Cutter's following up, banning that gray. They know how strong she is on Flyway with all the vision that she can provide. So not even going to risk it. This might lead to them taking a stealth focus. Who knows? But just taking that strong firepower right off the table.
Yeah, again, if you're wondering why you're not watching the pick ban phase with us here, if you just joined us, the website's having some more issues, little technical difficulties. So we're doing the pick ban phase in the game chat lobby, the game lobby chat, I should say. And looks like Helio's going to be the first ban for 12 Ducks. So get him out of here. Gray and Helio off the table.
And Cookie Cutter's following up with a nice firepower pick. Because Gray's off the table, those firepower, the pool of top tier firepowers has shrunk. So now they want to make sure they get at least one of them. Picking up Celeste, picking over to 2 picks for 12 Ducks. Really interested to see how this new team handles this.
Celeste is the most popular firepower to be picked up by any team so far in season number 2. He basically Lockwood and Aurora being picked up there by 12 Ducks. So Lockwood not surprising in the least. And let's see. And again, that combo Lockwood Aurora.
Real traditional, a callback to the early days of Atlas Reactor. This is just 2 characters that have been around forever. They've stayed either, real high tier like Lockwood, or just a solid, consistent pick that everybody knows how to play on Aurora. She provides a lot of opportunities, constant heals, which is something that not all of the supports provide as well.
And then Grimolition's coming out for Cookie Cutter, so they really like that pickup, looks like. It's funny to hear hear you and myself from time to time talk about back in the day of Atlas Reactor. It hasn't been that long ago, but it does feel that way sometimes.
It's almost been a year. 6 more days and it'll been a year since I started playing. Not that I'm counting or anything. So now we're moving into...
So
And now we're moving into another pick for 12 Ducks. They do have yay!
uh-oh.
A Titus pick coming out for 12 Ducks. So they immediately stop with the traditional, and even though Asana and Rask are on the table, they're gonna probably take that Titus. I'm interested to see how they'll run him mod wise. We've seen that reveal be used quite well today earlier, so there is more than one build, despite what I always tell people.
I would be rather shocked to see Asana not get picked up by cookie cutters at this point. Asana, like I said, in the 80s percentile of being picked when she is available by all the teams for season 2 so far. So, I mean, she's almost a guarantee to see in every single game that you watch here, PPL.
Actually going to be a Rask pick instead.
Right.
Rask and Finn. So still, I mean, Rask obviously still a very high priority pick. Just because he's nerfed certainly doesn't mean he's not useful. So they're going to take Rask and Finn, finalize that. So it's going to be Celeste, Gremlicians, Rask, and Dr. Finn coming out for cookie cutters. A very strong draft, one we've seen used a lot in the Prep Phase League to very good results.
Oh, baby.
I guess I know which team we're rooting for.
Zuka Mania and Titus Mania. I don't even know if that's a real hashtag or not, but it should be. Titus Mania is in the house. So is Zuka Mania. So on the 12 Ducks side, just to kind of recap what happened, they did ban out Helio. They picked up Lockwood, Aurora, Titus, and Zuki. Then on the other side, Cookie Cutters banned out that Ray once again for the third game in a row. And they picked up Celeste, Gremlicians Incorporated, Rask, and Dr. Finn to round out their lineup. So two pretty strong team comps in my opinion, but maybe a little bit stronger on the Cookie Cutter side.
Yeah, I mean, it's risky. Titus and Zuki, as much as we love them, both characters that feel sort of sink or swim, and they're either going to do a great job or not much at all. And especially on Flyaway, I mentioned it with the last Titus pick on Flyaway. If he gets a dash a little bit wrong or is forced to disengage with that dash, because of how long a range it is and how big Flyaway is, he's going to be out of the fight for at least another turn that he spends sprinting back in. And Zuki, with her big ones, it's much harder to lock down someone with a big one on a map as big as Flyaway. I just said big a lot of times.
Well, it is rather large. We'll give you that. But, I mean, with the Zuki balance changes, she no longer gets an excessive amount of energy off of her basic attack anymore. The big one energy gain is slightly smaller as well. So getting that ultimate does take a little bit of work now for the Zuki. And so I would anticipate seeing more free big ones come out instead of the slow mod, which was the favorite for a long time. Just because I pay a lot of attention to Zuki and what happens with her. And a lot of people tell me, on top of things, Zuki's damage is sequential, so it's not up front in your face every single turn. She sets things up. Step 1, I lay down the big one, I put the sticky bombs on you. Step 2, they pop, and I basic attack you. Step 3, I jump away, might myself. Step 4, I ult, basically. And a lot of that is completely avoidable, So kind of a question mark there how she's going to do, but hopefully it's going to do great.
Yeah, I mean, coming out against the recently nerfed Finn, the sticky bomb has actually become much more powerful because before, with double bubble being so popular, even if you tried to avoid shielding with the sticky bombs, it still came to effect next turn. Now, if they can time it right and sticky bomb the same turn Finn bubble someone, that just is ignoring that 40 shielding for that ability.
Now look, this is what I like to see.
There we go.
The brand new team just coming out of the gate, showing us how it's done.
They are doing Omni, so can't give them too much credit.
Oh, come on now.
We all know Evos is the best.
You're out of your mind, sir.
You are not wrong. So now we're moving to Game 1. Cookie Cutters, who we just saw play, versus a brand new team starting this week of 12 Ducks, full of players I'm not familiar with, so I'm really excited to see how they handle this.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm super excited. I always get excited when new teams show up in the league. Hopefully they stick around and they don't crumble.
Your team is ready.
And they have a good showing here, but we're going to find out real quick how they're going to do here against Cookie Cutters, an established Season 1 team. So, man, just to kind of run it down. Alteed is the team captain for 12 Ducks. Going to be playing that Zuki. Purino on the Titus. Jalkan Zarel on that Lockwood and Giu on the Aurora. And on the other side, of course, we've got Cookie Cutters. Guinness on the Celeste, Remney on that Dr. Finn, Lava Cookie on the frontliner, Rask and Mott's on that Grimolitions once more.
Yeah, seeing a pretty traditional start. 12 Ducks maybe moving a bit farther forward than Cookie Cutters, but everyone's staying grouped up, making sure their supports are on hand and wisely not even going to try and get that might against the Celeste. There's really no reason in even trying to bother. And Mott's going to likely set themselves up and go for this just sit behind a wall and bombardment style of play.
Yeah, no question. That's exactly what Grima likes to do. But that slow mod coming out on the big one, going to catch Mott's. Ruin his day, so he can't stand there and be free of damage. A lot of just kind of poking damage coming out. Guinness picking up that might buff as we anticipated. The trap going out on the other side of the map. Thinking maybe they're on that side of the map there. Curno taking a Grimo mine on his way out.
Yeah, I mean, they might not realize it, but moving up to those forward cover spots is just not really a good idea against Grimo. It's likely where he's going to be dropping his mines. He does get caught in that big one. It looks like Altiate, we're going to pronounce all of their names wrong, does have the slow big one still. So he's didn't move, but he is going to be forced to take a little bit of damage. And with that, those bombs landing on Titus, it really gives them an idea of where that team is and might allow Cookie Cutters to be aggressive and move towards them.
Yeah, it looks like they anticipated the Titus dashing in on the bots. He does take that 20 damage, but it is basically neutralized there by the Dr. Finn. And a couple of mines coming out, and a nice 3-man basic attack, getting that energy gain for Giu on that Aurora. And now they're starting to move forward a little bit.
Yeah, they did get a nice heal, but it does reveal that brush once again, revealing to Cookie Cutters without actually having vision on them where that team is. That's something you don't see a lot of experienced teams doing. It might just show this team's inexperience, or they're not too worried about it. With both teams that had members that took damage completely healed up, so this is basically still the start of the match. Nothing really has been accomplished, but Cookie Cutter's playing it very safe so far.
Hey,
not even barely moving out of their spawn.
Man. They padded those stats. That's what's important at this point. So here comes the bubble onto Lava Cookie, and a dirty fighting as well from the other side. From the Titus, a trap coming down, the big trap from Lockwood, trying to catch Lava Cookie coming in. The mine's going to miss once again, but it looks like Zuki's going to run over one of those Lava Cookie, just taking a swipe at nothing. Still trying to predict those dashes, and it's just not working out there.
Everyone predicting the dashes. I did like the dirty fighting there, though. Like the sticky bombs, completely avoids that double bubble, or that bubble protection, seeing as double bubble is no longer a factor. And everyone, you mentioned, just trying to predict the other frontliner's dash. Looks like this might be the turn for it to happen. Lava Cookie finds himself completely in the center of 12 Ducks. Sort of where Rask wants to be, but at the same time risky if that's who they decide to focus down. With 12 Ducks staying very grouped up and Cookie Cutter getting far more spread out.
Well, Zuki getting out of there is going to pop the dirty fighting on Lava Cookie, but, I mean, it is a Rask. You can't really pick away like that. You have to focus or ignore, basically. And Curino on the Titus just dashing into the camouflage node over there, missing completely. Lava Cookie taking a little bit more damage, so there is the focus fire coming down well below half health. It's Lava Cookie at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Titus did technically miss the dash, but boy, would if he have found some Gremo mines if he'd gone in normally. So dash is longer cooldown, did avoid the damage, and now is in that backline where Titus wants to be, along with Altied, along with Zuki, ready to start blasting away at Remney and Mods, punish those squishy backlines now that they find their way back there. With Guinness has spent this entire game sneaking around on the now isolated Aurora and Lockwood of 12 Ducks.
Lava Cookie dashing in. I'd love to help you with these pronunciations, but I have no idea either. So I'm going to go with Curino is going to take a hacking slash at Mott's and Remney over there on the Titus. Mott's going to return fire on the two members, and Zuki's going to shoot as well. Wow, what a huge shot on the Remney. 40 damage and a little bit of splash onto Mott. Lava Cookie dashed through that health orb pickup and takes a little bit of damage from Asana or Aurora after she lands.
Prevent Jui on Aurora from taking that away. They do still have their big heal available, but this is not where Aurora wants to be, sort of on the wrong side of a Rask. We did see Remy taking big damage and moving not into cover with Altier content to just sit back there as Zuki and poke away at the squishies. They're not even going to give Mats the chance to have a 0 damage grab game.
Yeah, Gio going to use that heal. Remedy going to use that shield and the heal onto Matan himself there. Trying to stay alive, but the dirty fighting is going to come out with the reveal. And Mats is going to shoot the Titus as expected. He is the only one in range there. Altelled. Something like that. We're going to figure this out eventually. And Gio taking a little bit of damage from Celeste and the Rast there. So like you said, not in the best place, but with that big heal, able to stay healthy.
And Lava Cookie definitely just trying to bear down on this Aurora and make sure that Aurora's focused on healing herself, not her teammates. Meanwhile, Remy just running away out of position as fast as possible. With the teams have pretty much swapped sides of the map at this point. You know, they're sitting near each other's spawns. No real significant damage, just everyone trying to figure out who's going to be the target to focus as we move forward.
Gio's got to be on the mind of pretty much Cookie Cutters entirely. Lava Cookie spent a lot of time trying to lock down that support, and it hasn't worked just yet. So without support from the Cookie Cutters team, I think Aurora's going to be able to get out of here. Bruno taking some heals, taking some mines from Grimulation, and a basic from Celeste, but that cover helping out tremendously to keep him healthy as well.
Yeah, Cookie Cutters regrouping on the blue side spawn on the map. Meanwhile, though, we now have Lava Cookie completely surrounded by 12 Ducks, but does have the ult available. This is what Rast really wants. You know, this is turn 9, so not exactly early, but a good opportunity to start dealing big damage. Question is, can 12 Ducks with all their team here focus down this Rast and burn them?
Yeah, if they turn on Lava Cookie right now, it's going to be lights out. Even through that Turtle Tech, I believe, they can probably get through there. The Eels are going to bounce over to Gio, making his day a little bit worse for wear. Lava Cookie going to use that ultimate, going to probably swipe as well. Gio getting dangerously low, a 3-person basic attack from the Rast. Zuki only going to get the splash damage off, I guess, anticipating a catalyst out of Lava Cookie, perhaps. Is it going to be enough? Only 14 health remains on Lava Cookie. No, not quite enough.
It's only 14 health, but it is a Rast who just reset another cooldown, so that 14 will quickly start to rise. We see the rest of Cookie Cutters moving to support with Guinness now staying on that ultimate, but almost half the members of 12 Ducks staying on ultimates as well. A really great week in there from the Titus. Pretty much is the reason it was able to keep Aurora alive, and this is going to quickly become a slugfest as the teams collapse on each other. We move into turn 10 when ults start coming up across the board.
Yeah, the people that don't have him yet are probably going to have him next turn. So,
the secret.
Oh, Guinness has a secret over there on the Celeste, laying down a trap, trying to anticipate where that Aurora is going to go if the catalyst comes out, perhaps. Trap coming out of Lockwood, but 2 catalysts coming out. Altied and Lava Cookie. Both catalysts.
Oh!
Gio catches Lava Cookie anyway with the Aurora ultimate, getting first blood for 12 Ducks. Moss is going to return fire, but it's, nowhere near
Not so safe now.
as effective.
Are you?
But here comes the big ult from Guinness. Is it going to be enough? It is. So they're going to tie it up there. So Cookie Cutter's taking out Gio, and Gio taking out Lava Cookie.
I'm wondering why Lava Cookie decided to catalyst there, since they did just ult, so they didn't have their dash available. But they do trade 1 for 1, so not teams still staying even. But now, as you mentioned, last turn, if they didn't have their ults, they do now. Everybody on the board, on the field, except Guinness sitting on ults. This could be a big swing turn depending on who uses them and who decides to get out of dodge.
Yeah, and 12 Ducks is in a bad situation here with Mott sitting back there on the Grimulations with that huge ultimate. There goes Guinness flying in. Looks like Curino's going to be their target on the Titus there. And the sticky bombs are going to miss thanks to the dash from Guinness. Oh, here comes the big Grimulations ultimate from Mott's hitting 2 members. But most of the damage goes on Alti, not Curino. I guess they anticipated this coming to finish the job. Curino's going to go down. Alti almost as well with the combined ults of Grimo and Dr. Finn.
Did you really just say finish the job? Did you really just do that to me? Why are you like this? Oh, not quite enough. He does get thrown through a heal orb. Not going to keep him survive. Alti forced down to a scary 9 health. Does have dash available, so they could easily escape. This does put Cookie Cutters at a slight advantage. Actually, at a pretty good advantage, because look how healthy everybody is at full or very close to full health, despite how intense this battle has been. So they're doing a really good job of turning this fight around. Lava Cookie respawning across the map. Jui on Aurora spawning close enough to start supporting the Lockwood here, but this is quickly becoming a bad situation for 12Ducks.
Yeah, the health bars tell the tale at this point. Cookie Cutter's up by a point in the kills
Well,
and
sleep
extremely healthy. I think they're all at full HP in fact. And Remney wants to wet the whistle of Alti, but not going to find Zuki over there. She did jump out of the way. The bounce shot not going to hit. A little bit of healing coming out of Jiu onto Jowkin's Real.
The eternal battle continues.
My goodness, these names. I'm having some issues.
Jumped out, but doesn't really get away and just ends up next to their team again. Sitting on ultimate, could just decide, if I'm going to die, I'm going to hurt you on my way out. Meanwhile, the rest of 12Ducks grouped up here on the other side of the map, still sitting on a couple ultimates, and they really need to start going over to the support and follow up on the damage that Alti's going to deal on their way to their death.
And all of the damage happening last turn going to get healed up by Remney on the Dr. Finn, but a 4-person ultimate coming out of the Zuki. There it is, and that is not a through-wall smod. That is full Zuki damage there on 4 members of Cookie Cutters. They're not healthy anymore. But Alti is going to pay for it with his life. Guaranteed here. So, big trade-off. Was it worth it? We're going to have to find out. 3-1 in favor of Cookie Cutters now.
Interestingly enough, down here at the other side of the map, we see Aurora taking the heal despite just spawning and knocking it to Lockwood. That's a pretty interesting choice. Now we did see that big burst damage come out from Zuki, but nobody on the side of 12Ducks is there to follow up on it. They got the firepower is low, but they're sitting right next to that Finn, and he's just gonna start healing them back up again if we don't see Lockwood and Titus rushing in to get those ults off and start laying down the pain.
I think the scariest thing here is look at Lava Cookie's health bar. Just took a full damage Zuki ultimate and is at full health right now. Like, that is terrifying if you're the enemy team. So not a lot happening. Just probably a little repositioning going on. Guinness as well, almost full HP once again. So, man, Cookie Cutter super healthy. Lava Cookie moving in for the kill.
Yeah, Lava Cookie once again finds themselves diving into the back line of 12Ducks, but that's what Rask wants, and it turned out pretty much they did fall, but for the most part in their favor. But previously, we're gonna see who does 12Ducks choose to try and focus this Rask or find one of the squishier targets they know has been at least hurt a couple turns ago.
Well, the Wiki coming out and 2 dashes, both from Lockwood and Rask there. Guinness 2 turns in a row, picking up 2 power-up globes. Loving that Celeste minigame that everybody likes to play. Mott's trying to lay down some damage on Kurino's Titus, but not going to do much there. He is a frontliner of full HP after all. And most of that damage is going to get negated by Jiu's Aurora. So that 12Ducks kind of slamming that little corner over there.
Yeah, we see Lava Cookie did dash in, doesn't have Catalyst available, so this is the opportunity 12Ducks has to do a lot of damage to him as well. And we see Mats is completely disengaged, just waiting for his chance to get the heals from Finn. Gin is able to fully heal themselves up with the pickups. Look how many buffs Celeste has right now. I think that's every buff you could possibly have in the game at the moment. Meanwhile, Altied is just not quite close enough to deal damage off that respawn.
Oh, if that was the Unstoppa bubble, they would have had every single buff in the game because they just... There goes Jowkin Zarel's Lockwood ultimate through 2 members of Cookie Cutter's team. Guinness and Lava Cookie right there. Mott's trying to fire back, trying to anticipate the movement, but not getting it done. Wow, that was a huge explosion from that bubble. Covered my entire screen. There's a Titus ultimate. Very well done there. Lots of damage on Lava Cookie and a little bit onto Guinness over there. A little bit more on Lava Cookie. Like you said, now is the time to focus that Raz when there's no escape mechanism in place, but now the ultimate is there. If she can survive this turn, going to be a problem.
Yeah, they did burn Rast down to 65 health, but that's still plenty to survive for the time being. We see Altied moving into position to try and help, but not really close enough to have a big impact. Meanwhile, Mott's and Remedy staying very safe, trying to get him healed back up before he gets caught out again. And Lava Cookie and Guinness just doing what they were doing before, grouping up to deal huge damage with the ultimates.
Yeah, like I said, Mott's just sitting back with that Dr. Finn. They're bosom buddies right now, healing him up. Alti gonna throw down that slow mod onto Moss's head, but wow, Kurino on the Titus coming in hot with that dash, hitting 2 members of Cookie Cutters. And we keep saying that Guinness and Lava Cookie trying to be friends over here. But Kurno eating 2 ultimates now and a basic attack from Rask. Surely, yep, there he comes down to 20 HP. Was 3/4 full before that dash.
Yeah, it did hit some of the dash, so it is only a turn 2 cooldown, but they are sitting in a pretty rough spot. Does have the Catalyst available. Looks like the Aurora here has Seeking Flare, so can heal over walls, but I don't know if the 30 health would be enough. Altia has found Finn, needs to start dealing that damage. Aside from that big Zukiel, we haven't seen her have a huge amount of impact despite the high damage numbers because of it.
I would love to see a Catalyst here out of Kurno, but I would love to see it next to perhaps Guinness to utilize that knockback and keep Celeste out of cover and out in the open for damage. But that was not the case. Going into the camouflage node there, staying out of sight and out of mind, hopefully. And a lot of whiffs coming down here because of the Catalyst. Lava swing and a miss. Guinness, is it going to find him? Oh, so close to finding. But the big AoE shot from Jelkin onto Lockwood catches 2 members again.
Guinness tries to put some fog down and move into it, but because of the reveal spraying parry, they know exactly where he is. It's turn 19, 3-1, and 12Ducks is consistently playing very safe, and I don't think that's the right choice at this point. They need to get on the aggression. They need to find 2 kills in the next 2 turns to even push this into overtime, let alone win the match. Yeah,
I agree. The time for playing it safe ended about turn 15 or 16 when we get towards the end. Here comes the dirty fighting from Kurno, but Guinness is going to dash. So does Lava Cookie. So it looks like they're going after that Lockwood now. The Zuki shot's going to whiff. Didn't know exactly where the enemy team was there. Yeah, Jalkin Jarrell on the Lockwood is the target now, it looks like, for Cookie Cutters. Taken down from 3/4 down to 28 HP. Oh, and Lava Cookie looks like he's going to go down, so that's going to be finally another kill on the board.
It doesn't go down this turn.
It wasn't enough.
Likely this turn, but this is Jalkin Jay-Z. Let's just go with that. Jay-Z sitting very low on the Lockwood, going to be forced to escape. I mean, they might be able to get this kill on Lava Cookie, but it's turn 20, and they need 2 to even win. That might just not even have the time anymore. Oh, and actually looking at Finn, I've been saying, lots of different bubbles being used. You are seeing Castaway, the over-the-wall mod, so we might not even see a dead Lava Cookie.
Oh my goodness, that's a huge over-the-wall mod bubble right there. Weaken coming out, very useful indeed, but Guinness is over there staring at his teammates. Another Weaken coming out, so the green members on Cookie Cutters Weaken, a lot of dashes and catalysts flying everywhere. Everybody trying to reposition here. Mott's is going to eat that Zuki shot. Lava Cookie, like you said, is going to live and use a second win just to make sure, trying to stay topped off. But
and there it is, Cookie Cutters take game 1. I definitely think it came down to 12Ducks not being aggressive enough. They were able to take down Rask pretty early, but then they all backed off. They let somebody else get picked off and we saw that huge Zukiel. I mean, 464 damage is very nice, but it's almost all from that one big Zukiel that there was absolutely no follow-up on. And by the time the rest of the team was able to get back in the fight, Cookie Cutters had fully healed everybody.
Yeah, like you said, around half of that damage is that one turn, that ultimate. Man, it's consistent damage that you want out of Azuki, of course, out of any firepower, but well, give it to Jalkin Zarel here on Lockwood, not dying at all. That's pretty impressive. Getting the damage up there in the mid-range for the PPL, 300 range. They didn't do terribly bad, in my opinion. They just ran out of time.
I think it was just a lack of aggression when they needed to. They played too safe for too long. Another thing, I'm going to give my MVP vote to Remni there on the Finn. 145 damage ain't great, but 385 healing. In particular, that shielding, 100. They shielded 150. They threw out 150 shields. 125 of it was effective. That is some crazy efficiency coming out of the Finn play. Using that bubble at just all the right moment. I think there was one time when it was avoided. Besides that, just always getting its fullest potential.
I agree entirely. I mean, Remni's definitely been a rock for Cookie Cutters from season 1 to season 2. Always being there to kind of hold the team together and always be there to perform. I know they switched out the team captain to Lava Cookie. Felt like she was the better leader of the bunch, but Remy's always been there to back up the team and make sure that he performs week in and week out in the PPL to make sure they have that shot to go to the tournament once again. So really liking his play, no doubt about it.
Now we're going to move into game two, sticking to, of course, our picks and bans in chat, but this is going to be uh, cookie cutters with the home pick. So they get to pick the map, but that does leave first pick, first ban in the hands of 12 Ducks. Can they take advantage of it and get the character they need? I think the team comp was fine. I think most of the play was fine. It's just it came down to passiveness. They didn't get up in their face like they needed to.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, they definitely had to. There's an intruder in our match, but yeah, I couldn't agree more. You know, they had to step it up around that turn 15, 16 when they were already behind, and you know their health bars were super low. Cookie cutters were all full HP. They had to get super aggressive. I know it's a scary kind of thing there, but definitely had to make something happen before it was too late.
Yeah,
Guys,
definitely. And once we get everybody in here, we can move into picks and bans. I do think they had the right idea. They just need to follow up more. They got a bit too grouped up to got caught in the corner and just punished with all the AoEs that Cookie Cutters brought in with that Rask, but that's the Celeste alts being big heavy hitters. Even through an Aurora alt healing, they were able to burn her down, and then Finn just as that rock, as you mentioned, just keeping their team alive, except for just the one death on Rask. It's strange that the one death was on Rask too.
well, I wouldn't say strange. I mean, Rask has got to be in the front line. You know, it wants to be in the face of the enemy team the entire time. You know, and once you use that dash, usually on a Rask, it's offensively to get in and start pounding on people. So getting back out again if things go sour is a little bit tricky once you get in there.
Yeah, I mean, they did use the catalyst there when the dash was available. They must have thought that would be the safer option, I guess, because of the Lockwood potentially. But, I mean, one death isn't a problem when it's the only death on your team. And Lava Cookie on Rask was able to come back and just have a consistent impact, get in that bag line, get in the Aurora's face, and just make them have a bad time.
Yeah, definitely. So, guys, just a reminder, we're going to see one more matchup with 12 Ducks versus Cookie Cutters here. Cookie Cutters won game number 1 between these guys in round 2 that we're in right now. Round 3, we're going to see probably the game of the week over on the Twitch side is going to be Voltaic versus Team Trash. So really looking forward to that. Stick around for that. So that's going to be coming up after this match right here. But definitely that doesn't negate this match's importance. The new team to take a game off of Cookie Cutters here would be huge. You know, I wouldn't expect a sweep from them in their first week in the PPL, but just getting some points on the board is very important for team morale as a new team. So they really need to step it up here, in my opinion, if they want to move forward and you know continue down the path of leading toward that tournament. They're not out of it yet. They can still make it into that tournament, definitely.
Yeah, one thing I like about this team, I'm just seeing just the way they interact in the chat, in the Discord, is that they're just good sports. You know, they take their losses, they accept them, and they recognize, like, yeah, the other team played really well. And I think Prep Phase League, if you're not, these super high competitive teams, the top tier teams, it can be a really great learning experience as well, just to get your hands on some high tier play, learn the ins and outs a little bit more, and learn from these losses, and come in next season, or just farther down the line this season stronger than before.
Yeah, and a lot of times it really boils down to team synergy. You know, you might have a team thrown together to try to get some experience this season and not quite make it into the tournament perhaps, or whatever the case may be at the end of the day. But then you realize, okay, well, this one particular person wasn't working out in our team comp, the way that we like to play, our play style as a team. Let's try to find somebody who is, and that's kind of the cool thing about it is once you find that groove with the other guys you're playing with or other girls in whatever case it may be, um, then you could really kind of explode onto the scene. We saw this in many other games, many other esports uh, venues where you got these super solid players individually get thrown together on a team with an organization that has them sign a contract to play for them, and they just don't work out very well together. And they start, they have a really slow, painful start to whatever they're doing in their season. So, and then they finally get to go on and get to working together better. But once you get that synergy down, that's when you really see the progression start to kick in.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't give up. That's the too long didn't read version.
So, are you a little bit sad that we finally got to see Titus and Zuki on the same team and it didn't quite work out?
I thought we saw that once before, week 1, was it? I know we saw it because I remember this specifically because I picked one of the teams as my favorite to win, and then they picked Zuki, and I had to switch. They picked
right.
Titus early, and you picked them, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go with the other one. Then they picked up Zuki, and you said, well, do you want to maybe change your pick there, sir? And I said,
not
yeah.
that we play favorites. All right, so it looks like we're going to get into this. Cookie Cutters picking Flyway Freighter again, so we're sticking with that big traditional map. I guess they felt pretty confident on it. And
maybe
now we're going to get ready into these bands.
Maybe they want to just get that Flyway experience because they know Trash is going to pick it every time, seems like.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely do prefer that map over all the others. I mean, it's the least inconsistent with spawns, and it allows the most opportunity for fancy positioning and flanking and all that cool high-tier stuff that us casuals don't have any experience in.
Yeah, speaking of casual, I was super casual today, playing a little bit earlier, and I didn't realize until I had noticed my whole team had been corralled and like herded like sheep into a corner. And then I pressed tab and I realized I was going up against Team Trash on the other side. Well, this explains everything now. We just got herded like sheep. Now we're going to the slaughter.
It looks like out of 12 Ducks, we're going to see a Helio ban and Cookie Cutters once again Gray ban. They just don't want to deal with Gray, it seems. They just never going to give them the chance.
4 games in a row, they say, get Gray out of here, man.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I wonder, I mean, hopefully we'll get to ask them at some point what it is with this Gray ban, like why they just really don't like her over all the other potential bans. Looks like once again we're going to see the Lockwood pickup coming out for 12 Ducks, secure themselves a reliable, solid firepower. He's still considered, he did get slightly nerfed, still considered a very strong pick. He just provides so many options.
I like their description of just to make sure we know who they're talking about, the Cigarro man.
Yeah.
So now we get Cookie Cutters getting a double pickup here for their next pick.
Yeah, lots of things still on the table. The 2 power front lines still on the table. So all the 3 supports still up there. Wondering what their priority is going to be.
Celeste Asana. I got to call it right now.
Ooh, Celeste Aurora. You were close.
They love their Celeste, so I'm pretty confident about that one.
I mean, I think most teams love Celeste.
Yeah, no doubt.
And we did have that one match where Wolo didn't miss a single trap, so everyone wants to try and get their chance at it.
I died a little bit inside that day because I knew as many times as I could play Celeste, it would never happen to me.
Ooh, 12 Ducks. I mentioned this new team going to come in with some weird stuff. Here we come in with a Rampart pick.
Yes, sir.
So it looks like they're definitely willing to just try things out, find their groove, and they're going to try it with the big shield man himself.
I love the Rampart pick. I really do. If they can stick together and play Rampart to his strengths, then I think it's going to be a great showing for them. If Rampart has to go chasing people around, I think it's going to, plummet really quickly in effectiveness, though.
Yeah, and now we see Gremolition's coming out for Cookie Cutters, going to secure that strong pick once again. So this is almost the same team comp. So far, the only difference is Aurora instead of Finn. So that must mean they prefer Aurora since last time she was taken away. Like
Well,
the
now that Remni
final
is their
pick.
dedicated support player, I know for sure he does prefer that Aurora, but a
Whatever it
little bit of a
takes.
leak here for you guys. Next weekend, when Orion is available for playing the PPL, Remni's already calling it out. They're going to be playing Orion, so watch out for
Ooh.
that.
And looks like we're going to see the final picks coming out for Ducks. They're going to take Finn and Zuki. So they'll switch up on the supports, and they're taking. I guess they want to try out this Rampart instead of the Titus. We'll see how that goes. It's definitely a character that's where you can see either be quite effective or absolutely useless.
There's a few of them like that. There's a few, and
Yeah.
it really boils down to how familiar you are with the situation that you're in. You know, if the Rampart player can recognize all the different possible moves for that turn, then you always make the good decision. If you're unfamiliar with how it works, you're thinking more about what you're doing instead of what they're doing, you might make a few slip-ups.
Yeah, but looking at this team comp, I'm gonna have to lean towards Cookie Cutters. They have a very strong traditional sort of lineup, and just it's risky bringing this Rampart, as well as Zuki, another character that sometimes is more effective than others. And is my voice going away?
I just saw a meme.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, make it happen, Twitch chat. You saw it right over there. Yep, saw it. Make one. All right, so I would agree though that Cookie Cutters does have the more solid lineup, but it is going to come down to positioning. I think really heavily on 12 Ducks side, like I was mentioning a little bit before. If they are staying close to that Rampart and not, just running all over the place, making him decide between, do I go on the offensive, do I stay back with whoever? I think it'll be much better for them to stick together.
I mean, the problem already is with the Rampart pick is immediately afterwards, Cookie Cutter followed up with Gremolitions, a character who just does not care about Rampart.
Well, Celeste Trap. You've got
Celeste Trap and
Aurora,
Smoke Bombs can
Ion
also
Cloud.
ignore it.
Yeah. Raz
They got a
can
lot of
dash through the
things.
shield. Grimo just shoots over it, doesn't even care. Aurora's Ion Cloud goes around it, basically. I think you're right. I'm giving Rampart a little bit too much love here, perhaps, but I was really excited to see this pick. I really like it.
I want to see it work, but this is a pretty hard team comp to play Rampart into.
Maybe they just go full ham mode, just charge at Cookie Cutters and don't let them, AoE them to death, basically.
Yeah, that's going to be the goal here. It looks like teams are ready up. Going to move into game 2. Once again on Flyway Fighter. Cookie Cutters versus 12 Ducks. And game 1 went in favor of Cookie Cutters. Can 12 Ducks bring this slightly strange team comp and make it shine, or will it be just... Do you have my name wrong?
Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There you go, buddy.
Well. Anyway.
I was wondering why you look different this week, Restart.
Yeah, I got a haircut. So we're gonna move it.
I don't know what to say about this. There we go. We're gonna switch over to the loading screen, ladies and gentlemen, and it's gonna be wonderful.
All right, game 2. Rampart is a pretty risky pick in general, and on Flyway Freighter, especially if Rampart dies and respawns too far away, it's gonna be a turn, maybe 2, before he's ready to have an impact again.
Your team is ready.
All right, guys, we're loading in here. Let's see what we can get done. Make sure lined up nice and pretty like for you guys. There we go.
I'm sure you check their names.
Right. There we go. So what are we going to see here in the opening gambit here? Pepper Titan.
I think it's safe to say Cookie Cutters after last game is ready to be more aggressive. It worked out for them in the end, and they already know 12 Ducks likes to play it a little bit safe. Once again, no point in anyone trying to rush down that power up with Celeste, and immediately pretty aggressive movement coming out from the Rampart here with moving up to that spot where they learned last time that Gremlicians can shoot them there. I'm surprised they risked it again, but here we are, likely to be shot. The only one revealed, with the rest of 12 Ducks playing it very far back, and Cookie Cutters playing it safe as well, with Guinness moving slightly farther up because they want to make sure they get their hands on that pickup.
Yeah, Kerno on Rampart doesn't really know Guinness is there. Couldn't quite see that far. Only sees the rasp, but might be going for that blind hook, the double pull. But there's the unstoppable mod on the Paralaser, so it doesn't even matter. He can try to do some damage with it, but it's not going to do anything else. Big one coming down right in the middle of the map, trying to block off their entry to their side over there. Rampart taking a little bit of damage. Nothing much really happening other than, the pull going the other way, but nobody's at home.
Yeah, it was a blind pull. It wouldn't have mattered even if he hit him with Remny anticipating a pull, just builds themselves some energy in the long run, but does have a very nice counterplay available. Now Lava Cookie just barely runs past the big one, leaving the rest of the team once again really just so grouped up on the side of 12 Ducks, and Lava Cookie on the Rask gonna have their way with them if they don't change things up. It's scary that we're gonna see a start of the beginning of last match.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would be surprised to see a shield come out here. They were all really set up in this corner for a nice Rampart wall. However, only Rask can do some damage to him. They have last knowns on everybody on Cookie Cutter's side, but I mean, it wasn't really a super dangerous situation. So I'm really glad to see the wall did not come out there. And but they are kind of sticking together, a little bit split up now, but Rampart was probably going to follow him, but he got thrown.
Oh, Alti did jump into that fog, finds himself standing awkwardly next to this Celeste. So now there's just two firepowers accidentally bumping each other in the brush. Lava Cookie now has eyes on Alti, and now with that jump down, that might suddenly be their focus with a little unfortunate positioning there. And meanwhile, Mott's and Remedy staying as far back as they possibly can while still trying to have an impact.
Oh, unfortunate Lockwood trap, trying to predict Ras dashing the other direction, but Alti, like you said, in that bad position over there right next to Guinness. Going to be taking a lot of damage this turn, but also Bruno taking that smoke bomb as well from Celeste. Mott's going to be eating some eels from Giu, but it's probably not going to be enough to dissuade him, and Giu goes for the ride there, care of Air Drimo.
Yeah, it looks like this time Cookie Cutter is doing a really good job of just breaking their formation apart. We have Jay-Z and I don't know, Finn over here in the corner with Mott's ready to just bombard them over the wall. Meanwhile, Alti getting a lot of pressure early on already. They caught him out in that brush, and that's just going to be their target. They want to burn down the Zuki, either force an early catalyst or just get an early kill.
Yeah, Zuki with that huge I think it's a 7-turn cooldown on that jump, so that's a long time to wait, but he is still waiting. Captain Alti's trying to hang in there, but it's basically a 1v3 right now, or 2v3 with Rampart over there. Lockwood not getting the bounce angle he wanted to catch Mott's over there. Giu taking a little bit of shots from the Grimo and walking over the other one. Well placed there from Mott's.
And we see Alti able to break off a little bit. Now only has Lava Cookie to worry about, but still dangerously low at 38 health. And Carino, I was worried about it before, just 0 damage so far on the Rampart. Hasn't had the chance to have any sort of impact on the match so far. And Cookie Cutter is really dictating the flow, putting the pressure on, forcing 12 Ducks on their back footing and spreading them out to just not let them support each other.
Well, here comes that Rampart wall. Alti gonna catalyst into the enemy team.
That was his own team.
Oh, no, it's his own team. My fault. Thought I saw some blue over there, but Kurino taking the damage from the side, taking an Ion Cloud. This is what we were talking about. The only thing he actually blocks is the Rask. Everything else gets through. And Giu gonna basic attack, not hit anybody with that brand new firepower fin. And is that gonna ever go away? There he goes.
So there it is. We see 12 Ducks finally able to regroup, but now they did regroup, but they're so clustered up on one side of the map with just being sieged upon by Mott's here, and with Lava Cookie likely to close in, and Remedy staying safely far back. In fact, two with Remedy not taking any damage and everybody else sub 40 damage taken on the side of
mind
Cookie
me.
Cutters.
Mine did this.
Yeah, so far, unless something changes, I think this Rampart pick was a huge mistake at this point. Just watching how this game is playing out, but it could be attributed to Cookie Cutters just understanding the situation and saying, you know what, we're not going to let you sit back and just wait for, block all our damage. We're going to just rush at you, split your team up, force you into bad positions, which they have done all game long so far. We're still a little bit early, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, once again, we see LT caught out. Guinness able to get a shot on them. Lava Cookie staring them down. This is really not looking great so far for 12Ducks, as they've constantly been reacting to what Cookie Cutters done, not having the chance to really make any plays of their own, just trying their best to survive through the onslaught.
Gio throwing the bubble down on Altade and trying. Lava Cookie getting that heal, so. Oh man, Mott's just coming in hot with that Grimmalicious dash, taking a shot from Lockwood, but it is cover damage reduction. Alti taking a lot of damage from Celeste, from Grimmalicious. With that bubble on there, it's probably going to save his life, but for how much longer?
I'm not so sure about that with the throw from Lava Cookie.
Oh, what's it going to be? Here comes the sticky bombs only on the frontliner. Lava Cookie taking some basic attack damage from Rampart as well, but there it goes. Oh, that is going to be it, going over a mine on her way through. That's first blood for Cookie Cutters.
That was some great teamwork positioning coming out of Cookie Cutters. Jumping in with the sport just to set up a throw through the mines, giving Lava Cookie the kill, and setting up the ultimate now with ults on everyone but Remedy coming out for Cookie Cutters, and no ults available yet for the side of 12Ducks, who are certainly just on the retreat this entire match, with now the next target likely to be this Rampart, since his shield is not available for another turn.
This is one of those beautiful things in the PPL. You don't want to see the new team get treated this way, or just be manhandled in this fashion. You want to get them that confidence booster. However, this is what you can expect from the PPL veterans like Cookie Cutters. That first game, a little bit clustered, a little bit closer than they might have wanted. But now game 2's here. They understand what the enemy team's trying to do. And they have adapted rapidly.
Yeah, Guinness unfortunately missing the Celeste ult, but they do get a catalyst out of Carino, who is now out of escapes. Only way to help themselves is with that shield that we've already seen Cookie Cutters isn't really too concerned about. Mott's retreating kind of far from the fight, not quite going to have an impact, is sitting on the ult, and Alti responding not even close with that Zuki, and they just got to start finding a target to focus down, but so far barely damage has been dealt on the side of 12Ducks.
Yeah, Remedy on the backside making it even harder to do damage with that weaken and the shield on his team. The dash is coming out as well. And, Remedy's going to eat some eels. My favorite ability in the game for sure. But it's not going to be enough because Remedy was full HP at that point. It's not scary at all. Curno trying to do the pull, hasn't hit one yet, unfortunately for him. And looks like a little bit of repositioning going on for both teams.
Yeah, Lava Cookie once again finds themselves on the edge of a big one, but I really don't think that's a concern for them. Altitude and Jay-Z grouping up as the Firefighters, maybe finally able to do some damage, but right now we're sitting at turn 11 and nobody on 12Ducks is above 100 damage. But boy, have they been taking it with Carino now in once again a bad spot, sitting next to all these enemies that just don't care about that shield that he's now throwing up.
This one is worth the wait.
All right, let's see what they have to do here. They've got to get something done. Lava Cookie going to catalyst over the wall there, try to get out of damage. Remedy going to take a shield bash from Curino, but Guinness fires back to Jalkin, Jarrell, and Alteed over there on the Zuki. And they return fire. Jalkin, Jarrell doing the AoE damage from Lockwood, and the sticky bombs coming out of the Zuki. Remedy's going to do the ult and heal up 2 members, damage to 2 members, and the Eels are going to hop over and might up Carino. But here's the big-time ultimate from Grimmalicious. That shield doesn't even matter. That's going to be another kill for Cookie Cutters, taking out the frontliner. Even the Dr. Finn ultimate doesn't really change the situation here.
It was a nice 3-person Finn ultimate. Could potentially set up a pretty good ult for Lockwood here, but the catalysts are still available for both Remedy and Guinness. They could get out of dodge if they so choose. Now, Alti does disengage. This is starting to look like a situation that 12Ducks could take advantage of, depending on how they handle themselves in the next few turns, and if they can find one of these squishies out of position.
Going in guns blazing.
All right, there goes Jouk and Zarel's Lockwood ultimate, but 2 catalysts mean no damage done for that huge ultimate.
Payback.
Guinness and Remy getting out of dodge there. Taking some sticky bomb damage, but it's not going to be detrimental. Mott's is going to take a shot from Zuki, but fire back onto Jiu's Dr. Finn, and Jiu's going to go for the ride care of Air Rask this time.
And once again, forcing people out of position. I mean, Remni now doesn't have the catalyst. If 12 Ducks can find him, that might be who they can get a kill. But, you know, Jouk and Zarel took a big risk with that Lockwood ult there, and now is finding himself surrounded with no escapes and could quickly be burned down by the, you know, the strong burst potential that Cookie Cutters brings to the table.
Yeah, it's definitely getting down to the wire. We're up already starting up on turn number 13, so if they're going to do something, 12 Ducks has got to start doing it now. They've got to start positioning themselves, start making a comeback, and here comes the big over-the-wall shield onto Zaukin. My goodness. Jay-Z. Well, we'll stick with Jay-Z. All right, he's taking some Iron Cloud damage, some Lava Cookie damage, some Guinness damage. Lockwood getting focused here. Firing back, but barely getting through his shield, but Alti's going to help out from the other side, getting Guinness extremely low.
Yeah, they still have Guinness, no dash available. They still have 2 turns to finish them off before they get away, and Jalka, with the help of that Finol, does survive. They're now collapsing on this Celeste with no dash available. This is what we need to see from them. They need to be on the aggression, at least for this turn or two, and they need to find this kill. They need to find Remedy before he's able to start healing people back up. Find these targets that they have the catalyst down and get some focus.
Yeah, but notice where Dr. Finn is. Over a wall, not in position to heal his team up. And only catch 2 members. Can't get that Lockwood. So that's the one that needed it the most for sure. Alti jumping out of there with the Zuki, avoiding the damage from Guinness's Celeste. But the Iron Cloud is going to take out Jouk and Zarel. But Guinness is going to go down for sure. And with the help of Mott's over there, the Lockwood is going to fall. So that's an even trade 1-for-1. Cookie Cutters still keeps that 2-kill lead.
Yeah, when you're behind, a 1-for-1 trade isn't really what you're looking for. Now we have Mott's and Remedy disengaging once again, trying to hide off and heal up. Well, the only obvious target we have for 12 Ducks is Lava Cookie, who's sitting on dash and is going to get their ult within a couple of turns just by the nature of Rask. And once again, we see 12 Ducks just not finding the focus they need.
Ulti on Zuki looks like that ult's going to come out there, only catching 1 member, and that's going to be Mott's. But there's the weakened Paralaser from Remni, and it doesn't even matter. Mott's gets out of there anyway with the dash. Ulti going to be very sad. Zuki missing everybody there, and Rask on Lava Cookie and Rask doing a double swipe. Ben showing the damage he got in that recent balance change to his basic attack, and Alti just taking a lot of damage. Finally a hook lands, but it is on Lava Cookie's Rask. Not too terrible for Rask.
No, Alti does find Remedy, who doesn't have any escape available, but in return is pretty isolated from their team. We do see Karina with that ultimate. This could be what he needs to have that impact that you want from Rampart. So far, he doesn't really seem to have been a huge presence. Jay-Z respawning across the map, going to try and rush into position with Jui on the Finn, just trying to deal damage. He doesn't even have anyone nearby to protect.
Well, there's that big Rampart ultimate right into Remny's face. Let's see how he's going to react to this. Jiu, again, throwing out those eels, trying to do that damage, revealing and damaging Mott's. Alti shooting Mott's as well, so trying to block off Remny, but it doesn't do any good at all. That Iron Cloud, again, getting right through there. And, man, that is going to be a dead Zuki. The shield did nothing to prevent that.
4 turns
I think we've only seen a single Rask slice or slash block by that shield, but they've just done such a great job of acknowledging that it's available and just not even bothering to attack them. You know, we see Mott's now as a potential target, does still have Catalyst available. Jay-Z has rushed back in, but there's only 3 turns remaining, and 12 Ducks needs to find at least 3 kills.
Yeah, and with Remny healing himself back up, I mean, Mott's is the only viable target at this point for them to even look at. Here comes Lava Cookie with that taunted dash on Kurino. Mott's actually jumps out as well with the Kata dash. Gonna take some Geo damage over there. Dr. Finn, nice prediction there. Might have been going for Lava Cookie instead. Just happened to catch that happened to catch Moss on his way through. There's the Rask ultimate going to reset all those cooldowns. The Ironclad Joinix working as well. Colonel not in a lot of danger there on the Rampart, but too much damage coming down that he could just avoid by not being there.
3 turns remaining.
And now we see 3 turns left. You just heard the announcer say it. Remedy could potentially go down here if they keep this focus up, but it's not really going to be enough. We see Altitude responding really far from the fight, and Mott's really not in any danger, despite briefly being caught out. 12Ducks has their work cut out for them if they want to push this into overtime.
Lava Cookie gonna dash in, like we said, all those cooldowns reset, trying to do the damage when he can. Remedy's gonna taunt that big Aurora ultimate, and there it goes. Gonna try to keep himself alive as long as possible. That's really the only option there. And Guinness on Celeste gonna get that double ultimate down. And Jay-Z on Lockwood rushed in, and is he actually just gonna go down here? 1 HP left, that is so close. Remedy's still staying alive. Oh, nope, Curno's gonna finish the job, so they do kind of catch up there a little bit. 4-2 now, but only 2 turns remaining. It's not looking too hot.
2 turns remaining. Jay-Z at 1 health does have dash available, but he doesn't really have any good spots to go to. So if he dashes this turn, you could easily just be dead the next. I mean, we do see Jui is in position, does have the heal and bubble available, so could give them the support they need. But 2 turns remaining. All Cookie Cutters has to do is not have 2 of them die. Even 1 death is acceptable. They simply must survive.
Yeah, there's only 2 places that Jowkin could possibly go. One of them is right there. The other was straight down from my perspective, right next to Mott's in that cover brush, or the camouflage brush there. Guinness doing a straight shot on Jiu. That's going to hurt quite a bit. And Mott's does guess properly. Oh my goodness. Bruno's going to get another hook off onto Guinness, but oh man. I mean, Lockwood is in such a big amount of trouble right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is turn 20, last turn. All that Cookie Cutters needs to win is to not die, and it looks like they even secure the 5th kill with the ult being available on Mott's, and Jay-Z's just sitting so low at only 11 health. I can't really see a scenario where this posters into overtime.
I don't either, but never give up hope. The power of friendship might prevail here. Curto going to block off Guinness, but the dash goes right through it. Again, that shield just not coming out very good here. The bubble going to help out quite a bit there, but I don't see them getting any kills here. They're just trying to avoid that 5th death, I think. Oh, maybe. Nope, not quite.
Oh, no.
2 more.
A moment of silence, if we will, for Lockwood.
Okay.
Oh, not just Lockwood.
Wow. And Dr. Finn. So that's going to be a 6-2 victory in favor of Cookie Cutters. So very well done on their part. Not the worst showing we've ever seen for a new team here from 12Ducks. But and I wanted to point this out. I was talking a little bit of harshly to the Rampart, but I don't think necessarily it was the Rampart play. It was more Cookie Cutters had the superior anti-Rampart draft, and they just played around the shield completely.
Yeah, they knew exactly when to, every time it was off cooldown, he'd try and shield and he'd just drop AoEs on his head instead. Just an unfortunate team to try and play Rampart against. And really, Cookie Cutters had just the control of the tempo the whole time, forcing 12Ducks to be on the defensive, be on their back footing, and not push aggressively, which is what they needed to do.
Man, I was kind of hoping 12Ducks was going to take this series because I wanted to ask them the question, where does your name come from? Where'd you get that weird team name? But it doesn't look like we're going to get that opportunity this week, at least in this game. So who do we want to bring in here? I mean, game 1, MVP was Remedy. I would say probably the same for game number 2.
Yeah, another 591 contribution, 237 healing damage, 354 healing. Definitely the rock that kept their team alive and prevented 12Ducks from ever gaining a strong footing that match.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we saw there was a moment when, we had that one member of 12Ducks at like 20 health, and all of Cookie Cutters either full or just barely not full, like 2 damage away from full health. So definitely great job on the healing there.
All right, I have requested the presence of former team captain Remney. I almost said team captain. Caught it. And so we're going to have him in here. Hopefully, if not, we're going to have somebody else from Cookie Cutters. And we're going to see what they liked and disliked about that matchup. I'm sure they liked quite a bit about it.
Yeah. Definitely felt they were confident going through, stayed on the aggression, dictated how the match was going to run out, and just forced 12 Ducks to be playing from the defense. You know, aggression is tough to do in Atlas Reactor. It can turn against you pretty quickly, but they were able to, you know, follow through on it both with damage and with support to keep their members alive, despite the fact they were just on the attack. Even with like aggressive splorts from Gremolitions and the Ras constantly diving their way into 3 or 4 members, barely any deaths for both games.
Yeah, and that's one of the strengths of having that experience in the Prep Phase League, the experience in the competitive aspects of Atlas Reactor. Cookie Cutters bouncing back after being swept by 2OP round number 1 to sweep their opponents in round number 2. Regardless if it's a new team or not, they could have easily lost their focus after that first round and just started, you know, throwing the game away. But they didn't do that. They stuck with it. They had their heads together, and they recovered in time to pull out the sweep there. So props to them. I don't know if I could have done the same thing. So very well done.
I know, definitely showing their strengths, being a very, very strong force going through. I mean, I'd be happy to see them in the championship tournament. I mean, I wish we could fit everybody in, but, you know, that's just not how things work.
Yeah, unfortunately, man. I mean, I would love to be able to interview both teams after every one, but, you know, give the winning team some props. We'll get them in here, talk to them about what they liked, didn't like, what they got going forward. So I'm pretty excited. I like, you know, I've known Remney for a long time. I know you have as well. A lot of people know Remney in the community. A great, great guy outside of the game and a great player as well. So I'm really happy to see his team succeeding and getting in there with the points this weekend.
Yeah, and then as we wait for our interviewee, looking forward to that next match, Voltaic versus Trash. It's going to be, you know, Trash has been a dominant force, still undefeated, but Voltaic has also shown themselves to be quite strong. You know, I think if there's anyone that's going to take a game off Trash, it's going to be these guys, despite the fact that they're a newer team in the Prep Phase League.
Yeah, Cookie Cutters was almost immortalized last weekend. They were one decision, and then after that, 1 pixel away or 2 from taking down Team Trash. That was an amazing matchup. If you didn't see that, go to the YouTube on Prep Phase and watch that game again. That was amazing. Cookie Cutters versus Trash from week 2 of season 2. But I mean, yeah. I mean,
here's Remney.
Hey guys.
Oh, Remney, how you doing, sir?
Pretty good after that last game.
Yeah, I think you'll be happy to know that both games we agreed you were MVP for that crazy support play, just keeping everybody alive. Really high contribution.
I honestly thought that Motts had more MVP on that second one.
His damage was insane.
Yeah, he had some good cap offs where like the Rampart that Rampart finisher at the when he walled off, and yeah, it was pretty good cover, and he also cut Lockwood off, so I think he got the MVP for the second one.
So did you guys see the Rampart pick coming, or did you just basically say, okay, they picked Rampart, let's completely nullify the shield at this point, because everybody that you had basically go to get around the shield?
Yeah, the Rampart early pick is usually a killer. Like in cases like that, you can just completely counterplay him. So that was kind of the thing. I mean, we went with Grem, you know, the match before that anyways, so we had pretty close to the same comp that the match before, besides me playing Aurora this time. But yeah, it was pretty hard counter for him.
Yeah, it certainly seemed to be the case. Speaking of the similar team comp, so do you prefer Aurora over Finn now? I mean, was that different with the buffs, or has just always been Aurora's your main, but you're fine with playing Finn?
Aurora has always been like my main support. Finn, I've been practicing on over the last couple weeks. I'm still kind of getting used to him because he's got a lot more positioning issues than Aurora does, I feel. But coming up, I'm probably going to see some Orion play out of me.
Lothans did mention that, and I'm excited. You know, I haven't gotten a chance to go hands-on with him, but I heard a lot of mixed things. if you want to touch on that, what makes you think you're ready to bring Orion into the competitive play?
I'm about 80% win rate with him, and I've got about 40 games with him in already. And I'm really enjoying his makeup, the way he plays, where he's got this passive aggressive tone, kind of sit back while you absorb the damage from your teammates, and then go out and do some damage, then retreat again, go out. It's just kind of hit and run tactics sort of with him.
All right, well, I'm excited to see that. So we also mentioned just briefly, this was a new team. Going up against them, were you just going to go with your standard stuff, or did you have anything special in mind?
Funny thing, we accidentally got into a match with them earlier in the day. We were playing up in we were just doing regular pub matches with the team, and we ended up getting matched up with them. So we kind of got a little bit of a feel for them there, but we weren't 100% sure that's the way they play normally or what it was. So it was we got a little bit of a preemptive kind of a notion on them.
Very nice. Now moving forward, you're going to pick up 3 points here for this weekend. Now you don't want to start falling too far behind. Can you afford to drop 2 games in a round again moving forward leading up to the tournament? Do you think you can make it in if you keep dropping games, or do you guys have a little bit of cushion room still left in you?
It's hard to tell. I mean, it's kind of really hard to tell until the last couple of weeks generally, because there are so many teams this time around, especially. There's so much point variance between all these different teams, I think, besides, the top teams, of course. I think as far as like cushion room, we don't have much room for it because we haven't been sweeping our games like the way we've been wanting to. And, last week was pretty bad for us as far as only winning 1 match. But I think we've got Mott's in now, and this was our first real run with him. So it was kind of just getting up to speed with us playing together. I think we'll be better off next week once we really get going.
Yeah, and he did seem to handle himself well today.
Yeah, he did. We were really good we were really surprised with how well he's, kind of getting together with us. There was the one play that, kind of threw us off because he wasn't sure exactly what was going on that last play of the first round when we were playing against 2OP. That last play where he hit Gremo, I actually had range to throw a field out there when I respawned on that last turn, so we could have killed Nyx. And there was confusion on our side, and because he hasn't gotten used to, who's being focused on a lot faster, we kind of had some confusion that last play. Otherwise, we would have tied it up on that match and could have kept going.
Well, I'm sure that'll be ironed out moving forward. You still have time. And we saw last season there was the teams that had a rough start but managed to fight their way into that tournament and even into the finals. So
yeah,
well,
we don't think we're out. We don't think we're out by any means, but we don't have a whole lot of cushion room at this point.
Well, you guys did start late season 1 and you made it in, so we're looking forward to seeing you guys make that final push toward the tournament. So thank you very much for joining us, Remedy. Do you have anything else, Pepper?
No, I'm all set. Anything you want to throw out, Remedy?
No. Thanks for having me, and just look forward to seeing some Orion play next week.
All right.
Definitely am. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
That was Remedy.